May I come? Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. Thank you, sir.
It was a long waiting for you.
No, sir, it is a long day for you. Thank you, sir, for conducting these
I saw
interviews.
you also waited quite long.
But I am glad, sir. It is worth the wait.
Isha,
Yes, sir.
please tell about yourself. Say educational background and if work experience.
Yes, sir. So, as you have already mentioned, my name is Isha Garg. I did my schooling from Lan International School, and after that, I pursued graduation in economics from Indraprastha College for Women, Delhi University, and masters from Delhi School of Economics. After that, I worked as a junior economist for 1 year at ICICI Bank, and since then, I've been focusing on two things. One is my IAS preparation. Second is my physical and mental fitness via yoga, meditation, self-help books.
Or you work for 1.5 years?
So I worked for 1 year.
1 year.
ICICI Bank.
What was actually the
Work.
nature of work there?
So I worked as a junior economist. So my work was to understand what Indian economy is doing and then present them as useful reports for the market. But since this was my first year, I was more of a support to my seniors, like collating data, preparing charts for them, preparing draft reports.
What kind of data you were basically working on?
So, for example, inflation data, GDP data, we used to forecast what GDP data would be, what inflation we are assuming, what RBI is doing,
What was the methodology followed for forecasting?
Sir, this work was mainly done by seniors. My work was to collate the data for them.
So do you have any idea how do you forecast?
Sir, I have little basic idea. For example, we use all the high frequency indicators to forecast GDP. We take into account what IIP is, what ICI is. So based on that, we try to figure out what our GDP is going to be. This is the idea that I have.
In final semester, did you study econometrics there in D school?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I studied econometrics.
So we have a forecasting method in that.
Sir, I'm not able to recall that.
Okay. What are the various characteristics of time series data?
Sir, I am not well versed with time series data, sir.
So do you have, what is the difference between correlation and regression?
Sir, regression, we try to figure out our dependent variable. We try to figure out what are factors deriving our dependent variable. For example, if I talk about consumption, then what are the factors that drive my consumption? Is it my wealth, income, my education? And in correlation, we try to predict how two variables are moving. So that is not regression. Regression is more about, we try to look at correlation only, but correlation is between two variables. We are not trying to predict our dependent variable based on independent variable. Regression is more of a prediction.
More of a prediction. And what are the other differences?
So correlation is just a small part of regression. In regression, like you said, we do forecasting also. Regression is basically if I talk in layman terms, we try to find the patterns in things. We try to capture what is uncertain. So that is the main basic. For example, if we are betting, we use regression to see what outcomes we are likely to observe depending upon what independent variables that we have.
How do you find causality?
Causality. So I am not sure about this answer, but if I guess, we don't find causality, we try to predict again causality. We talk more about correlation. Causality, so like we all know, regression do not establish causality. We just try to guess. Like if the correlation is high, we try to guess maybe this may be a cause.
How do you measure causality?
So I'm not able to remember the
Have you heard
exact.
about grander causality tests?
Yes, sir, I have heard, but I am not able to recollect more of
If
that.
I write y is a function of consumption, right? But I can also write consumption is a function of income.
Yes, sir.
Income is a function of consumption, and consumption is also a function of income. So we have a bi-directional causality test. So these are measured by Grinder causality tests.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And you did your masters from these schools.
Yes, sir.
Who was teaching you macro?
Sir, Professor Moshini Das, ma'am.
Moshini Das.
Yes, sir.
How many times you interacted with Professor Moshini Das?
Sir, one-on-one never. I was just too scared of all teachers in the SE. So very much qualified. I am just a point in front of them.
So how does it matter? Student. You are a student of
So I was not
Professor
very
Moshini Das.
I was not very confident at that time. Maybe if I get this opportunity, I would definitely want to learn from her. But that time I was very underconfident child.
You are interacting with a person who is a batchmate of Moshini Das.
Oh, nice. So,
How does it matter?
if I get the opportunity with her, I would do that.
Professor Uday was teaching you something?
Yes, sir.
Professor Uday?
Uday Bhanu,
We
yes.
are both are batchmate and myself, we are not batchmate.
That's it.
Professor Uday taught you something?
Yes, sir. Game theory.
Game theory.
Yes, sir.
How do you define Nash equilibrium?
Sir, Nash equilibrium is an equilibrium where players' Nash strategy match. So they are doing best whatever they can given what other player is doing plus what is expected out of them. So they do not have any incentive to deviate. That is Nash equilibrium.
Is Nash equilibrium Pareto optimal also?
Sir, no. We know this from prisoner's dilemma, where the Nash equilibrium is where, so if I explain prisoner's dilemma, they have a choice whether to lie or whether to hide the truth. So for them, the Pareto optimal is they both of them hide the truth because the authority investigators do not have sufficient evidence against them. Instead, they choose to tell the truth. So both of them get more years of imprisonment. So Nash equilibrium is not always Pareto efficient.
What is pure strategy?
Yes. So pure strategy is where we choose an action with probability either 0, 1, with either 0 or 1. So there is just one action. You do not randomize over your available options.
Have you heard about the various options theory, Vickery option theory?
No, sir.
What are your hobbies?
Sir, I practice yoga and meditation on daily basis. I love reading self-help books. That too I do on daily basis.
Yoga and
Meditation.
meditation.
And self-help books, sir.
And self?
Self-help books. I read novels. The genre is self-help books.
Okay. Which novel you have studied latest?
Sir, so I read, basically I read different books on different days depending upon what am I feeling right now. For example, today I really wanted some kind of motivation. So I studied Attitude is Everything by Jeff Keller. So this is what I studied yesterday.
Have you read 7 Habits?
Yes, sir. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Is written by?
Sir, I'm not able to recall name. I'm not able to recall his name. It's a male author, but I'm not able to recall. I finished that book half only.
Who got Sahitya Akademi Award for Hindi last year? Last year Sahitya Akademi Award.
Sir, I'm not aware.
She's a professor from Delhi University.
Sir, I know we have received for Gitanjali Shri Tomb of Sand. We have received that is international award. I'm not.
I'm talking about Sahitya Akademi.
Sir, I'll have to check that.
Professor Anamika.
Professor, okay, sir.
For her poetry work, she got Sahitya Akademi Award last year.
Tell us 3 important desirable qualities that you possess to be an IAS officer.
That I possess.
Why the UPSC should select you as an IAS officer? Justify your candidature.
Yes, sir. So first, I have worked just to be sure if I am worthy of IES. About the work profile, I first worked in the corporate sector so that I can really know if I like making sense.
One, two, three.
Point 1 to 3. So first is I'm emotionally intelligent. I am good with people. That I'm very proud of. Second is I have a routine. I can install good habits. I read books, so I can install right habits to be worthy of this job. Thirdly, I like economics, sir. I'm very sure about that. This is what I want to do. So I can productively contribute to this job if I'm given proper training. These three, sir.
What is emotional intelligence?
Emotional intelligence means you understand your emotions and you are able to manage it, and you understand others' emotions also. Because ultimately, all jobs boil down to managing people, and I know I have that skill.
What is NCC?
So NCC is a National Cadet Corps. It is a youth development program.
Just youth development program.
It's a youth development program which imbibes in you the qualities like so unity and discipline.
So has it helped you? You have been an NCC cadet.
Definitely, sir. Definitely, it has. So, for example, if I talk about unity, so whenever I have attended the camps, for example, I attended a national level camp, Thal Sainik camp. So there, I was representing Delhi. So we were not Meena, Kumari, Isha. We were not that. We were Delhi. So it imbibes in you a sense of belongingness. You are representing your Delhi. So in that sense, you learn unity. If I talk about discipline, it teaches you that so you do not do what you like doing. You do what you should be doing. For example, we come from good background, so we don't have to wash our clothes. But there you live together, you eat together, you wash your clothes together. So it teaches you tough love.
The NCC activities are very demanding in terms of the time. So how do you establish a compatibility, a balance between the NCC activities and your academic activities?
So I think that is what NCC teaches. It teaches you tough love. It helps you manage your time. So your day is not controlling you. It is you who controls the time. Like in NCC camp, they teach you to follow a proper routine. That is what you apply in real life also. You try to follow a routine. So for example, whenever I'm in college, this is the time when I'll be attending my classes academically. Now, post that academic lectures, we used to have our NCC parades or drills or activities. So it was manageable.
What is budget?
So budget is a annual financial statement which government presents to know what is the physical roadmap for the current year, what we are going to receive, what we are going to expect.
Budget preparation.
Yes, sir. So it starts 6 months prior to budget presentation. So initially the Finance Ministry, Department of Economic Affairs under Finance Ministry issues circulars which has to be filled by all the departments, all the institutes. So in the circulars, they tell about what their receipts are going to be, what was their expenditure.
What is the constitutional provision related to budget preparation? Constitutional provision.
So it is Article 112, which mentions annual financial statement.
And can you say something about the Russia-Ukraine war? Basic reason?
Basic region. Sir,
For this conflict?
Sir, it is so Ukraine wanted to join NATO, but Russia was against it because otherwise the NATO countries would come to its border. So it is basically attacking Russia. It is pressurizing Ukraine to withdraw from this proposal of joining NATO.
So what is the reason that the war has prolonged so long, contrary to the expectations of the war?
So if I talk about these two countries, so no side is trying for peaceful negotiations. If I talk about the West countries, they are also condemning Russia. I think Russia, if I talk in a layman language, Russia is like a rigid child. So you cannot impose conditions like we are not going to purchase gas from you so that you do not earn profits and finance it. You have to go and sit peacefully with Russia, and I think this has to be.
Impacting Indian economy.
So it has increased our commodity prices, because of which our current account deficit is increasing. So in the energy prices, mainly fertilizer prices, I think these are the two reasons which I can think of right now.
Any opportunity for India?
So I think we are using that opportunity. We are purchasing oil at a discounted rate from Russia. So this is one. Secondly, this is helping us present our unique diplomacy. So there's a non-alignment policy. We are being praised from both the
In terms
worlds.
of export opportunities?
Export opportunities. So because of Russia-Ukraine war, definitely our exports are down. Because of the inflation that it is causing in the West world. But export opportunity, sir, I think this is only I can think of that.
We have been able to enjoy export potential to several other countries where erstwhile Russia and Ukraine used to export, particularly the food grains. So that is where an opportunity for Indian economy lies.
That's a new point, and I think that is yes, sir, definitely.
But you okay? This is your first time?
Yes, sir.
What is digital rupee?
So digital rupee is nothing but a digital form of your fiat currency. For example, our RBI has recently launched our central bank digital rupee CBDC, yes, sir.
But then why vehemently it was opposing cryptocurrency?
Why it was opposing cryptocurrency, sir? Because cryptocurrency is not regulated. The main fear of RBI is that it is going to hamper our monetary transmission, and secondly, this is going to be used for money laundering, for drug trafficking.
That can be also with a digital rupee.
So digital currency is under the purview of RBI. This is cryptocurrency nobody is issuing. We do not have regulation for that. Digital rupee, RBI is basically issuing that.
What exactly will have the repercussions if the digital currencies are introduced or the digital rupee is introduced on the supply side of the money? Suppose what will be the impact of reserves? What will be the impact of say demand and time liabilities?
Sir,
and does it have a potential to kill cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin?
Sir, according to the RBI, it has the potential to reduce the desirability of the cryptocurrency. But I am not sure if I am getting the question, sir. Can you please repeat that?
I'm telling what shall be the exactly impact on already existing money supply in terms of reserves, in terms of time and demand deposits. How it will be impacted?
Exact impact. So I think it is going to be very convenient.
I know most of the answers people do not think about.
Yes, sir.
You being an economist,
Yes, sir.
you will be expected to answer in these terms.
Yes,
If RBI introduces this digital currency, what exactly it will have on the supply of the money or reserves or the time demand deposits?
So I think
How it will economy will get impacted in these terms.
sir, I will try to think answers in these terms, because today I know only basic answers. Like this is
Basic answers.
I won't work there. Yes, sir. I guess, sir. I think so. You need somebody to tell you to think in these terms. We at home don't realize this. Yes, sir.
Because those answers are in the papers which you read.
Yes, sir.
We have to discover.
Yes.
In terms of those, exactly what it will have its implications if the digital rupee is introduced on the circulation of the money.
Yes.
On the concept of the reserves, excess reserves, required reserves, how it will impact already the deposits, time deposits and demand deposits when we introduce the digital rupees.
So also, where can we learn this from?
You read Economic Times.
Achha, okay,
because
sir.
general paper will report in general terms, but economic
Sir, I've
terms
been reading Business Standard, Indian Express, and Mint. So, should I replace one of this newspaper with Economic Times?
Focus on Economic Times and the Mint.
And the Hindu. Okay, so I should replace all 3 papers. And try to do it. So,
And if there are questions on Russia-Ukraine war, particularly in economic terms,
Yes.
to global,
yes.
how other countries are being affected, and how the Indian economy is being affected. The negative impact and the positive impact for India.
Yes.
Secondly, you should prepare questions for the topic related to G20 summit.
Okay,
You
sir.
have question on the agenda of the G20 summit. The presidency that
We are going to hold it from December, yes, sir.
what are the opportunities for India during the coming 1 year?
And how the impact of the federal Fed Bank increasing,
Interest rate on Indian economy.
Bond yields have increased. That has put pressure on the various currencies of the world. But India, RBI has also taken steps to counter it. But you will find that the 2 members like Ashima Goel and others have opposed this. That we should not
Increase
apply
interest
any-
rate, yes.
because there is a time lag to adjust the monetary policy. So therefore, they oppose that we should not go on just following this. And so to read those in detailed report, that is monetary policy committee report, and then you see why we have to maintain because most of the members were telling that we have to maintain a hawkish tone in terms of the increasing the repo rate.
Yes, sir.
But if you increase the repo rate, rate of interest will increase, then the cost job will cut down cost jobs. It will then unemployment will decrease. Then there is a trade-off between again growth and
Inflation.
Then as an economist, what you do.
Yes, sir.
So you should read these
Parameters, yes, sir. I will do that. And economic times would help in
and
this.
then go through this also food security and
What's your
how-
global hunger index,
global
basically on
and
that.
millet.
International Year of Millet next year.
So because millet helps in mitigating the climatic changes also in
Yes,
terms
sir.
of like wheat is a thermal sensitive crop, whereas paddy is again methane emitting crop.
Methane, yes,
So
sir.
therefore, if it, somehow, and in terms of food security, it provides your nutritional security millet. So that is why India's proposal to celebrate 23 was
International Year of
was
Millet, yes.
given not in 2018 by FAO. So that is why millet becomes very important in context of food security.
Yes.
World food security. And India being almost our largest producer of the millet also. So issues, you read the current issues and I think on a little bit of basics also, because you are from Delhi School of Economics, they may sometimes ask you, so they are also just go through the basics also a little bit, but they are not generally asked you, and it is not mandatory also all the time. You should not.
So from where should I read about this forecasting in time series? Because I don't
Just
remember.
go through your basics.
Gujarati would do.
Basic
Sir, a basic econometrics I know, but forecasting I don't remember doing forecasting. In fact, time series data is also not much taught. So from where should I do that?
Internet surfing also.
But now don't. Okay, it is not expected that you answer every question as well also. So you shouldn't worry about that. But it only gives an impression that since you are from masters from the School of Economics and the expectation becomes a little high. That is why this is a merit also, demerit also.
Yes, sir.
Right. So because they expect you to be here, if you are not, then otherwise rest of the current issues and personality wise you are okay. There's no major concern. But only I think the major concern is about the basics concepts. Like if somebody asks you measure of inequality or say how do you measure poverty? Do you know about the FGT, Foster Index? Then how do you measure the incidence of poverty, severity of poverty, or poverty count? So these are the small things which you should know.
Yes,
it is expected from you to know. Otherwise, this is okay. Just prepare, but I think the basics you need to go through again. But the only thing thing which I found was like even not up to mark, little bit of basics. So, sir has given you some no major concern, and please go through the current economic affairs, both in global and economic times. But I also tell you to just because
Basics.
your background from Delhi School of Economics, if they ask you a few questions and if you are not answering them, that gives a very bad impression.
Yes.
So a little bit of Indian economy side, like poverty should be and then farmers' bills. Swaminathan Commission report put in the debate why the government is not yielding to the farmers'
Demands, yes, sir.
demands for the Swaminathan. Because it may have a repercussion if the Swaminathan Commission report is accepted, it may have an impact on food security. Why? Because the food will be costlier.
Yes, sir.
So it may impact in another way food security. So that is why there is a debate on that. I think it's so good.
Thank you,
We are
sir.
very humble about you.
Thank you, sir. So that means a lot.
And overall performance is very good. And
But,
important.
but two things again. Some of the questions you are trying to guess, which you did not know, and you are guessing with a full confidence, where you,
Yes.
where you made a mistake, that you should avoid.
Yes, sir.
If you do not know the answer straight away, it's the right one. Because many of the things, your personality is good, your working experience is good, but when you do not know the answer, please don't guess.
So can I first give this disclaimer that can I guess? Can I ask their permission for
In that
guessing?
case, yes. Don't start confidently.
Yes, sir.
I'm speaking wrong things.
And even if you do not know any,
You say simply, I don't-
sorry.
That is the better way, because instead of answering wrong,
Yes,
the
sir.
confidence
Yes, sir.
is not very good. That doesn't go with your personality.
Yes, sir.
Because you, this time, I could see that you were answering wrong with a confidence. That you should avoid. Right? Because many of the things which you are not knowing and you are just making the statements. Right? So, later on you performed well. But when I started asking, you were trying to give a wrong answer with a confidence.
Sir, because like you said, I need to brush up my basics. I did go through my basics, but it was just skimming. But I would
You have a time,
read
you
it.
have a time, you can appear again so that you can because many people have improved with their second mark.
Sir, I'll be coming every weekend if there's slot available. This was my first time. Thank you so much, sir.
A
Thank
couple of more points.
Yes.
If you go through the newspapers of last 6 months,
you.
just go through it. And recently there was a statement by the Finance Minister, Nirmala Sitharaman, that rupee is not falling.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You should have a question will be asked of yourself. You should have a solid answer to this statement. What did she mean by saying this? How can you say that rupee is not falling otherwise? You should have a proper justification, point 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Then basics, as was suggested.
Yes, sir.
That should be clear. And current Indian economic scenario,
Yes, sir.
then global issues, how global issues are connected with impacting the Indian economy.
Yes.
Like this.
Economic services, many people have qualified from here in RBI. They went through mock and we were the 2%. Out of 24, 8 of them have qualified. So please take this solution seriously and start working. You have lots of time and try to appear again second time.
Yes, sir.
We can
So 21 December.
so that we can tell you how we have improved and what parameters we have improved, right? Okay, all the best.
Thank you so much, sir.
ये मैंने कभी थोड़ी जरूर पढ़ा economic times go through it. Make notes,
Yes, sir.
important issues, and keep in mind how these issues are going to impact.
Yes, sir.
And since you have a 1 year work experience, must know your nature of work exactly and what was you were working on.
Yes, sir.
What was
We
the
have worked with MOSPA also, no?
Yes, sir. I've
So
done
you should be
internship.
aware of the database of Indian economy also. Different databases. Therein this brief description of characteristics
Yes, sir.
and what is the rational justification of changing the base yield from
GDP.
from year 2003
And also
to
11 to
10.
12. Yes, sir.
Because we have worked with MOSPA.
Yes, sir. Done internship. Yes, sir.
So you have done your internship.
Yes, sir. Awesome.
Okay. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank
You
you.
want to ask anything on us?
So I think I have this basic question. Do you think I'll make it
Yes, we are
ever?
At present, we can predict 70%. We'll predict 90% when it comes.
Second time.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Personality wise, current wise, otherwise, I have no issue.
It's just basics.
Yes, but I have a serious doubt of the basics because I am from Delhi School of Economics. So there may be even one question, and if you are not answering that, that will nullify your good points. Please, you have the time? Yes, please.
1 month is enough.
Thank you, sir. And also my tone. That
Yes,
is a
that tonal quality, that everything, presentation is good. There is no concern on it. Only concern is your mouth. Brush up your basics also.
so there is no flaw in personality, just my basics.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir.
You have the pleasant and smiling personality. You are maintaining eye contact with all the members of the committee, which is required.
Thank you, sir.
And if you do not know the answer, simply say no.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time, sir. Especially because I asked the reception people that you have been taking these interviews since 12 in the morning, sir. And also, I noticed you did not have your lunch also. No lunch break.
No,
So it means-
actually, see, that is how the economics. We were very happy that out of 24,
Hmm.
8
Eight
qualified.
people.
So we were so happy for those students also, that because of just our mentoring, they have cracked. So that almost 33% from a particular place,
Hmm.
that speaks lots about the institute. And
Also,
we are
the
luckily-
mentors, yes, sir.
Luckily, we were the mentors. So we also take pride in that we were the mentors.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.